Good evening, everybody. September 26, 2021. Had a very choppy weekend here. Came down and retested the lows and then popped back up over top of those highs there. So the question now is, really what are we doing, obviously. So one possibility here, of course, is that this is sort of a double bottom situation. We broke the neckline here, and the target for that is basically the height of that. So target pretty easily should be about 45,600 is the target for that double bottom. So we'll put a line there. So that is one thing to consider. Okay, and then another thing to consider is this being an A, B, and C, which looks pretty likely along with that double bottom target. So this would give us a sort of warning rejection box area anywhere between 44.5 and 46.5, with the ideal target being right about 45.8. Which is right near that double bottom target. So I'm going to put this as an orange box like I did before for the ABC. That was the ABC there that we had before, and we did see rejection from it. So warning, potential rejection spot in there with an ABC. So that's all well and good, but still doesn't really answer the question as to where we are going. At this point in time, because of the chop, we really can't answer that right now. We still do have this possibility, though. This is 1, 2, 3. All of this, whatever this happens within here, all of this could be 4 here before going down into 5 and finishing off in the ideal target area down here. That is still on the table. It is still possible that happens. So that's something that we really need to watch out for. With this new action, I think we need to look at 46.5 now as sort of our area that we really need to break through to eliminate that kind of as a possibility. The other thing that we can consider here is perhaps A, B. We're getting a C up within this. So let's see what the rejection box is for that, because that may give us a different rejection zone. And this one is even larger. Pretty much anywhere within this large zone here is the ABC rejection zone on this larger scale. So that gives us an even higher target that we need to achieve, 47.8, in order to eliminate this as an ABC. But if we're going to keep this as our 1 and 2, I would have to say that 4 should end somewhere right around that 45.6 area, maybe up to 46K, somewhere in there. It really should be done with this 4, if in fact that's what we have. So I don't think we have anything clearly yet unless we can get through both of these orange boxes, unfortunately. We do still have this lower potential on the table at the moment. And the only possibility, honestly, bullishly, that I see because of all of this chop, I think we're probably not going to get an impulse off of this. I mean, we could have a 1 and a 2 here, but it's not really playing out impulsively, I don't think. Let me see. The low time frame action certainly doesn't look impulsive. We are right about, we're at the 618 here right now of this, if that's 1 and 2. So if we came down from here to about 42.7 and held at that 382 level, that would actually be a good sign for this scenario. If we can get this like that, and then press up nicely to the top of that orange box, then hold, and then eventually get up above it. This would be the best way for this to play out as an impulse. And I can sort of make this argument, we had these 5 waves up here, so I can sort of make that argument that we may get an impulsive move here. Just kind of write this area off as just weekend chop. That is possible. So let's see if that scenario happens. I'm going to keep this yellow box on here, or this yellow fib on here for now, so we can keep track of that. And I guess, I guess it's possible that was kind of our 618 and that's our 382 there. So yeah, best case scenario, either we come down and test again, or we just push up right now up to about 47,955, and then we need to hold. Once we're there, once we make it through this 1.0, then we can move up our stops to the 618 area here, which is what we've done in the past. Because once you get through there, you really don't want it to come down below the 618. Otherwise, you kind of lose the potential there that it had. The other possibility, of course, is that it makes some sort of diagonal upwards. I don't like that, but it is possible that we get probably something like this, where this is 1, we get a choppy 2 down, and then we would get a 3 up, something like this, and we'd form some form of diagonal off of these lows. That's a possibility as well, but it really doesn't work in our favor nearly as well to get up into these higher targets. So the impulsive move, if we can get it, is certainly going to be the best bet for the long term on this. Otherwise, honestly, it would be better for this to just go down, reject here and go down to this area and try again to get an impulse off the lows, in order to get us up into the 80 to 100K range that we are really looking for near the end of this bull market. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I've got, I think, at the moment. I think really we still need to use these lows, so I still have my stop set right now below 40,600 with a 15-minute timeout on it. At this point, we could probably set that to a hard stop. The 15-minute timeout was really to prevent this right here. If that had come down and then spiked up, that was the possibility that I saw happening, especially on the weekend, where it spiked down and just stopped us out unnecessarily. But now that we've got this double bottom in place already, we really shouldn't spend any more. We shouldn't spend any time below 40,600. So I think I'm going to get rid of my timer on that stop and just set it as a hard stop. Because if we go below that, we're likely going down lower to at least 37.5 to 38.5 to finish this off, and potentially lower depending on how this plays out. But hopefully we just continue pushing upwards here, and we see a bullish week. That would be the best, obviously the best case scenario for Bitcoin and for us, because right now this really looks like a complete correction to me. This looks pretty clearly A, B, C. It's beautiful as it is, even though this C wave is maybe a little bit truncated. It doesn't necessarily need to get down here, but it can still, whatever happens within this range, it can still come down. It does not break it, even if we come down there. So we'll just have to see what happens. But there's our levels to certainly keep an eye on, and everybody should be in longs at this point from from this area that I said long, I think down to like 41.5. So we should be sitting pretty nicely in longs at this point. And then if we can get this to play out fully, just on the bull side here, if we can get this fully play out, 3 is going to go somewhere in here ideally. 4 comes down and holds about 46.5, and then 5 should take us up to about 53. which will look very much like a double top, but it will probably be a false double top because this will be an impulse then up off the lows. But we still will likely get a retrace then from there, and then that'll be a strong buying opportunity again. So I'll probably be taking some profits off right around 50. I don't know, maybe not, because this was my buying opportunity here in two. I may not try to mess with this. I might even put some new money in if we get this and then we get this pullback. Maybe I'll put some new money in instead of trying to sell and rebuy. Instead of trying to mess with that, I think I might just hold on to the buys that I had down here, assuming this all plays out. So, all right, I think that's pretty much it for the update, and we'll see where we are tomorrow. All right, good night, everybody.